Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Jesse. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Now, it is the beginning of the week. I know it's not Wednesday, but we have plenty of fights to discuss this week. We have 4 major events. The first one we're going to be talking about is one of the 2 that are set to be in Dublin, Ireland. We're talking about Bellator 227. Now, the first major high-profile fight, ex-UFC vet, X for a reason, Jon Tuck is going up against heavy-hitted barbarian Brandon Girtz. Now, this is one of those fights where styles make fights. It could be an amazing fight or it could be absolutely boring fight. Why? Jon Tuck is predominantly a ground fighter, a jiu-jitsu specialist, a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, where Brandon Girtz has that wrestling background but loves to just stand up and bang and hello, USADA, maybe a check would be nice, because Brandon Girtz has one of those bodies that's aesthetically scary and frankly, in my opinion, not organic. But this fight is also going to be interesting because while Jon Tuck, ex-UFC vet, got released from the UFC, the people that he lost to are high-profile fighters such as Kevin Lee, Drew Dober in his last fight via unanimous decision. He lost against Josh Emmett. These are high-profile fighters, and one of them he actually beat in Takanori Gomi. So obviously he's going to look to get back into the win column and obviously make his name be heard in the Bellator arena. But is Brandon Girtz, a Bellator vet, already going to let that happen? He is also used to fighting these big vets. Derek Campos, Michael Chandler, Adam Piccolotti, and the list goes on. So he's not going to be scared just because Jon Tuck was in the UFC. Jon Tuck really has a problem with his striking, really has his problem getting in reach, getting into that range where he could really grab a hold of you and take you down. And also someone with the big size of Brandon Girtz is going to be a hard guy to get down on the ground, frankly. And especially with somebody with such a strong wrestling base and who has vicious ground and pound, no matter if you're a black belt jiu-jitsu or not, having somebody in your guard that bears that type of power is going to be scary. And Jon Tuck, if he takes to the ground, he's going to have move quickly, because any little slip up is going to be the end of Jon Tuck and Brandon Girtz's elbow coming down on his face. I think this fight is going to end in the first round. I just think Brandon Girtz is too emotionally invested in each of his fights, and that could be his demise, and it has been in the past. But someone like Jon Tuck, who in my opinion isn't really he's barely a B fighter, I think it's going to be kind of an easy target for him to maybe get back into that win column and just pounce all over Jon Tuck. Jon Tuck also coming off a loss. He's going to be looking to get back in the win column, but he's also going to be, I think he's going to be a little bit too excited. Being in a new organization, Bellator, your first time being in the card, you're going to be a little bit too excited, and I think you're going to slip up. And I think Brandon Girtz is going to catch you right the face off when you guys engage with one of his big punches, take you to the ground and pound you until the ref pulls you off, and that's what I think. Now, the main event is a fantastic main event. We're talking about 2 ex-UFC vets, one of them being a champion. We're talking about Myles going up against Benson Henderson. Now, Benson Henderson is no stranger to the Bellator cage. He has been back and forth and finally catching a huge win streak in his last 3 outings against guys like Adam Piccolotti, Saad Awad, and also ex-UFC vet Roger Huerta. Benson Henderson is one of those fighters that has it all. He knows how to strike. He is durable as all hell. He can go 25 minutes, no problem, and he's got fantastic jiu-jitsu game as well. But Myles is no slouch and no stranger to fighting these high-level caliber fighters. Andre Fili, Donald Cerrone, Chad Mendes, those were all losses, but nonetheless, they're some of the best and the best that the UFC had to offer. Now these 2 UFC vets are going to go at it, and this is really going to test Benson Henderson, because I think Benson Henderson, the fights that he's won in the Bellator, are in no way, shape, or form the same caliber of opponents that he faced in the UFC. But Myles Jury, ex-UFC vet, he is that caliber. Myles Jury is not going to stay timid at one end of the cage and wait for Benson Henderson to engage. They're both going to meet in the middle, and Myles Jury is going to try to make easy work, good luck by the way, of Benson Henderson. But Benson Henderson's keys to victory, in my opinion, he has phenomenal leg kicks. Don't engage with a close combat, punch for punch, tit for tat type of fighting style. Take this to the ground. You have phenomenal wrestling and phenomenal jiu-jitsu, and you're working ground and pound from there. Also, make it a very exhausting fight for Myles Jury. Make him work on the ground. Make him have to carry your body weight. He's going to get exhausted, and you, being a championship caliber fighter, at least in the past, are able to go those later rounds and hopefully expose Myles Jury at that point in time. Myles Jury, your keys to victory here. Get ready for Benson Henderson to pound all over you. Get ready for Benson Henderson to pounce all over you and try to take it to the ground. And you're going to have to be ready for your shots and try to take him out as he engages and tries to get a hold of you. Don't throw any leg kicks to someone with such a high caliber wrestling style of Benson Henderson, because he's waiting for that target. The moment you engage that leg kick, whether or not you land it or not, Benson Henderson is going to catch it. He is a master at catching leg kicks. And once he gets a hold of it, he's probably not going to let it go. You're going to go to the ground and you're going to have to utilize your jiu-jitsu, which you're good at, but you're not going to like the pressure that Benson Henderson's going to bring you. I think this could very well go to decision, and I think Benson Henderson is just going to outpoint Myles Jury, make him tired, expose him on every element of the cage, standing up and on the ground, tire Myles Jury out. You're going to see Myles Jury get fatigued big time, and Benson Henderson taking this by unanimous decision. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please remember to stay tuned because we have another Bellator event coming up soon, which I'm going to talk about in just a few short minutes. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to see you shortly. Peace.